What is happening, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to 321 Screw. We've got a little different format tonight only because we are patient zero. I have the flu tonight. I don't want to infect my brethren here. So, hey, guys.
He ate that.
Yeah, he's got scarlet fever or
The plague.
smallpox or
Yes, was it? It was smallpox.
something. A rival podcast sent him some tainted blankets, and now he's all sick.
Yeah, I'm gross.
Sons of bitches.
At least
That
I,
wrestle guy, I know it.
at least I don't have boogers running down my face this time, so we're good.
Boogers?
Hey,
Oh, you mean you.
Hey, and everybody, and check it out. Guess what? So, Fabulous B, still sick, still made it. Isn't that right, Joey?
Halloween. But I was there. I was a fish.
No, yeah. So everybody, well, like I said, thanks definitely for tuning in, and we've got a decent show for you tonight. We're gonna go ahead and hit with the happenings of this week. Since I've been sick, we didn't really have much of a, I guess, topic that we had all discussed. So we figured we'd just go ahead and bring you the news of the wrestling world for this week. So
Yeah, speak. The topic is wrestling,
yes.
and Joey's camera is off.
Hey, Joey's camera's off.
Even-
There we go.
I'm back.
Yeah, I can go ahead and put something over him.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to go ahead and start it off, or you guys want to?
Well, I mean, obviously, we'd start with SmackDown last week.
Yeah, we could do SmackDown last week. Hold on a second. We've got the Asian, and I'm here, Christopher Steven. Hey, gents. And oh, no, Asian, it's not the bird flu. I did not go to your home country. Sorry. But,
Fever.
yeah, that's gross.
No, in all honesty, he's just got him some mud butt.
Yep, mud butt. Got the gross horse in the throat. Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't want it.
I don't want it either. I got a job.
Yeah.
I can't afford to be sick, so
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a cross. Using the other finger to make the cross.
Yeah.
So, to all of those out there in the chat that I can't see,
Or
The
me
chat.
as well.
thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Second that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate all our
So,
screwies.
So, in case people didn't know, this past SmackDown, well, and Raw as well too, but they were both taped because they were in Manchester, England.
Yes.
So both shows were pre-recorded and then aired. So, I mean, when there's other stuff we could talk about with SmackDown, but just the big thing right off the bat that I wanted to talk about was the Fiend showing up and backstage. Now, this is the first time we've seen the Fiend attack someone backstage.
Yeah.
Is it?
Always been in the ring.
Yep.
In the ring or up on the ramp the one time with Jerry Lawler.
You're right.
This is the first backstage attack, and he attacked Daniel Bryan.
Yes, he did.
Which nothing has been said yet, but now, of course, the rumors are swirling that it's going to be a Daniel Bryan Fiend at Survivor Series match.
That'd be pretty damn good. They got history.
They do have history. Daniel Bryan at one time was part of the Wyatt family, for those of you
For
who don't
2 weeks.
remember.
Very short
It was
time.
either for 2 weeks or for 2 days. He was in a feud with Bray Wyatt, and then he joined and became part of the Wyatt family, and then he turned on the Wyatt family. So, I mean, if there was ever a reason why the Fiend, who doesn't forget and never forgives, is
Exactly.
going to come after someone, it would be someone who was part of his family that turned on him.
How would you,
and we-
with Bray Wyatt with his Firefly Funhouse, would you guys consider him more of a psychotic Mr. Rogers?
of course.
Absolutely.
No, I consider him more of a psychotic Pee Wee Herman. Because it's more Pee Wee's Playhouse than it is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Very
True.
true.
Yeah.
'Cause he had the puppet.
Tell him Large Marge sent ya.
Large Marge has been dead for over 10 years.
It was a night just like tonight.
I like that one better than the Big Top Pee Wee.
I knew she was up to something. As soon as he got in that truck, she just didn't. She seemed off.
Yeah.
I never trusted Large Marge from the start.
I didn't either. You know, I think it was that whole that was it the green jacket? Yeah.
Yeah, the sleeveless flannel,
Pretty
and
much could have been
the mullet haircut,
Yep.
the 5 o'clock shadow.
Mick Foley's grandma.
Yep. Mick Foley's
That's how
grandma.
I.
Exactly.
See, I brought it back to wrestling, folks, because we were so getting off topic. So back to SmackDown, William.
Yes, SmackDown. What do we got for SmackDown?
There was
A little
We
bit of
had
this,
some
a little bit of
wrestling.
that.
There was some wrestling.
there
Yeah.
was some trash talking,
There was some trash talking.
Well,
but them being in Manchester, so a lot of of course, a lot of the NXT guys, being over there in England, they didn't travel for the shows.
right.
Because NXT is, it's here, and it's not like they're Raw or SmackDown superstars, so they're not gonna bring them all over there just so they can, run in little bit parts here and there.
Yeah.
So instead, what they used was the NXT UK people, Walter and his crew of Imperium. They're the ones who did the invading. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Walter, when he was out, they even made the comment something about, just because you're, here in England doesn't mean that you can't be invaded by NXT or something to that effect.
Right.
So they're
NXT. They're just NXT UK.
yeah, but they're technically a separate brand.
And I don't know if you guys also noticed that they went back to the old stage design for both shows, for Raw and SmackDown. So they didn't have the updated ramps and everything.
Oh, well, for when they were over there in England?
Right. Well, they also had kind of even the ring itself didn't have the light up posts and everything like they did with the United States.
They have all their stuff with them.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or who knows? Maybe they're
Yeah, because you figure,
natural look.
a lot of that shit, they truck it from, semi-truck from show to show, town to town. So
Right.
over there, they would have to fly all that shit over, and that's a lot of stuff to load up in
And
planes
a lot of
to
money.
fly. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not surprised. I'm sure come this Friday and Monday when the next SmackDown and Raws come on, I'm fairly certain that they'll probably be back to their old
Right.
stage setups.
So on SmackDown, I don't know if you guys remember the Kofi Kingston and Big E defeated the Revival. So maybe this is a resurgence for the New Day, because I know that the New Day for a little while has been kind of dormant.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, it just pretty much now they're back down to a two-piece because of course, Xavier Woods being out with the injury.
Yeah.
And then they got attacked by Imperium. So
let me say this: is it a resurgence for New Day, or is it a possible setup for one of them to turn? Because they have been talking that rumor
That would be cool.
for probably the last 6 months easily.
right.
Whether it's either Biggie It was always either Biggie or Kofi. It was never Xavier. It was always either Biggie or Kofi. One of those two.
I would much rather.
It's-
I would much rather Kofi turn.
It would be cooler if Kofi turned.
See, now I'm the odd man out here. I think
Biggie.
Biggie would be the better to turn heel because Kofi has never really been a heel. Not.
I mean,
Yeah, he was like that. There was a little while where he was like a little shady, but he was
Right.
never full blown heel. Big E has been
A heel.
full blown heel.
When he was
whenever he was with
Ziggler.
AJ Lee too.
Yeah, when he was with CM Punk.
Right.
He come out. He was CM Punk's, bodyguard, security,
Right,
whatever you want to
Ziggler.
call. He
Right.
did for Punk too. I thought.
No, I thought it was just Ziggler. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But it could be.
I thought he first showed up with CM Punk. To be honest, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not usually though.
Then
But, yeah,
well, then again,
Exactly.
I thought the first time I remember seeing him, he was with AJ Lee. So
but that would
that would
except CM Punk though.
right, exactly. Because shortly after AJ Lee had her own thing is right about the time that when the CM Punk pipe bomb went off.
That's true.
Was it?
Yeah, it was about 2014, somewhere around there.
See, I also see him for some reason. I want to say I recall seeing him in a match against, I think it was against the Briscoes with the Freebirds.
Ooh.
Big E.
Really?
No, I just.
I was gonna be like, what the?
I just made some off the wall random shit up, trying to throw everybody off.
No, he was the third member of Demolition.
And Andre
He is a-
out and destroyed all.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
His real name is actually Big E Von Erich.
Okay, there we go.
He was adopted.
Yep.
Well, it was nice of them to do that.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah.
So we also had Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro defeated Ali and Shorty G, which is kind of a glaze over match. Sasha Banks defeated Nikki Cross, and then Shayna Baszler came out and attacked Bayley. Of course, Bayley, sitting ringside for Sasha Banks' match.
Right.
Carmella and Dana Brooke defeated Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Which
Yep.
I don't understand why they need to break Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose up and put them in completely different roles because they're failing, in my opinion.
Weren't they originally with what's her name, the one that you haven't seen on TV for a while?
No, they
What's her
came out
name?
they came out with Paige and they were Absolution.
Like Liv Morgan was part of Riot Squad.
Oh, okay.
Riot Squad was Liv Morgan, Ruby Riot, and what's her name? The chick married to the Viking Raider guy.
Yeah. God, I can't even remember her name. She's not been on the show so long. Let's see. Going a little bit further, King Corbin defeated Roman Reigns after interference from Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, or Wriggler, as we all like to call them.
So, speaking of Corbin, before we go any further, I want to talk about something that I saw online and was reading about and lots of people talking about. And I gotta say, I like the idea, and I think it would be kind of cool if they ran with it. Corbin, as we know, is probably the biggest heel in WWE right now. I think he's the biggest. He's the most hated, despised, whatever. I think. And you got these, and I think it would be kind of cool if Corbin started his own faction.
Yeah.
Because there's not.
to help him, to be honest with you.
There's not. Well, Corbin, don't get me wrong. You hate his character if you want. You can't deny the fact that the dude is a he's a solid ring performer.
Oh, yeah.
dude,
He's
Yeah.
good on the
I don't
talk
think
shit.
his talent whatsoever.
You know, but he thrives well in group situations. Think about the different. Remember when it was Corbin and Lashley and McIntyre? You know, those three were kind of running amok for a little bit, and now you got Wriggler seem helping out Corbin. I think it'd be cool if Corbin start because it's been we don't really. I mean, excluding Undisputed Era and NXT,
Right.
I'm talking in the ranks of WWE, SmackDown up there of those ones. There's no real heel factions right now. There hasn't really been a true heel faction for a while,
Right.
and I think
I mean, what's really the last one I can remember was when they did the one with the League of Nations. That was
Yeah.
all heel.
Oh, man. That was a horrible, horrible faction.
Oh, no.
I don't know what's going on with your video is horrible, man.
Yeah.
What do you mean
It's
Yeah.
choppy, jumping. It's just blurry and distorted.
What about now?
No,
What about now?
no.
About now?
Can you hear me now?
Now?
It's better, but it's still not good. Not like mine and Brad's.
Right. eh?
You're all grainy and it's ever since you unplugged it.
So, Bill, Lauren Hayes says, you having a bad hair day? What's with the head condom?
Oh,
Who said that?
Lauren Hayes.
Oh, my wife. Yeah.
And Fat Charlie says 18 trailers worth, and I've had to load a few shows. So that was Fat Charlie.
What's up, Fat Charlie? Thanks for tuning in.
that's our boy in the bayou. It's the animal.
The animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So back to what I was saying, and no, I just I'm just I like my beanie, man. I'm just it's my pink beanie.
Right?
yeah,
You hate on my pink beanie?
I thought it
Hey,
was
you know-
I thought it was a vagina hat at first, guys. So
I thought so too when I first came over here, but I didn't want to say nothing.
hey, sometimes you just gotta say it.
But now you said it, so it makes me feel better. I can say it looks like a vagina.
Hey, man, if you're gonna wear a vagina on your head, all the more power to you, brother.
If there is
Yeah.
anybody that can wear a vagina on their head and pull it off, it's Bill.
It's my catchphrase.
There you go. So let's see here. Tyson.
Yeah, heel
Yeah.
faction.
Right.
That would be. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
He could do that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it was
see
the
him
whole.
as a leader.
He's the King Corbin, and he's got his little heel faction, and I think they can
Who do you think
do
would be
stuff.
some potential people to maybe join him in that.
In all honesty, I think it would be cool to see Shorty G join up with them.
Yeah, well, in their rivalry, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Those kind of twists, and that's what storylines are really missing.
Right,
So,
exactly.
That's a good idea, Brett. You should
Yeah.
write that in.
I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Hold on a second.
Steal Bill's idea and just write that down.
Nah.
Your video had frozen on mine.
Whose video?
Both of yous.
Yeah, and you guys' video kind of went frozen on mine too, so there we go.
Rose back.
We're back on.
Back.
All right, so and then Tyson Fury made an appearance and suggested Braun Strowman should be his tag team partner.
I would
Yeah.
love that.
Then they were interrupted by the B team.
Yeah.
They got their butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't a smart move on the B team part.
No, I'm still a fan. I know that they're going to make a comeback and get those tag
I would
titles,
think that Curtis Axel got like 2 minutes of airtime.
right?
I'm holding out for the Main Street Posse, to be honest with you.
Main Street Posse?
Yeah.
No, man. The Spirit Squad for me, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Spirit Squad 100%.
Hurricane and Rosie.
3 count with their little disc mats they bring into the ring and they all stand on and they would do their dance. Evan Courageous and
Wasn't Gregory Helms a part of that?
yeah, I think
And so was Shannon Moore.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right. See, I used to think AJ Styles was on that.
No.
But
No.
I was wrong about that.
Yeah,
You were wrong.
that
Yes,
was not AJ Styles. All right, so that pretty much wrapped it up for SmackDown. For Raw,
And then then we had Full Gear pay-per-view on Saturday.
right?
AEW.
I didn't watch it. I'm sorry, guys. So you guys take it away on this one.
Well, then,
Did y'all watch it?
so, Full Gear.
I saw it. I mean, I didn't watch it,
What
but I was. I did so watch the highlight shows. I saw somebody else
so
on.
rude.
What?
You so cut me off. Continue, Bill.
No, go ahead. What's your input? Because I'm sure it'll be quick.
Right? So, all I was going to say was, match of the night for Full Gear was Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega. Take it away, Bill.
That was all.
That was the match of the night. I mean it.
I don't know. I enjoyed the Jericho Cody Rhodes.
Oh no, that was good too. But I don't know. I just feel like
Moxley Omega. That was a different.
Stop.
That wasn't a wrestling match.
That was a street fight.
Yeah, that was.
But
That was.
that's some of the stuff people love to see in wrestling too.
Yeah, no. We had the triple threat for the tag titles. It was SCU against the Lucha Brothers and House Party.
Now, did they defend their tag belts?
I just said it was a triple threat for the tag titles.
It was the tag belt. Okay.
Yes. And SCU defended, retained. And there was a moment where during the match, the lights went out. And when the lights come back on, there was, which one of the Lucha Brothers, which is the one that he's like in the all black?
Pentagon.
Pentagon, okay. The lights went out, and when it come back on, Pentagon, there was 2 Pentagons in the ring.
Oh, hell
Standing
yeah.
They kind of looked at each other for a second, and then the new arrival Pentagon attacked, took out the old Pentagon, and then pulled the mask off, and it was Christopher Daniels who was back.
Oh yeah, I did.
Nice. So, and apparently AEW has, I think they have adopted the Freebird rule, I believe, because there's
Yes.
3 of them in SCU. So I think any combination of the 2 can defend the titles.
Right on. Okay.
Sorry, I was looking for my drink. I'm back, guys. Not that you care, but I'm back.
This guy.
I know you guys care, but not those two.
This guy.
You guys.
So yeah. So there was the women, the AEW Women's Champion. I can't think of her name. The little chick. She's like 62 pounds.
Yeah, wasn't like Eho or something like that.
Oh my God! Yeah, she defended the women's title against I can't remember the lady name. But it was this older Asian woman, the one who like supposedly like trained her, because they talked about it was a teacher versus student kind of thing. But yeah, is it like Rio? I think Rio's her name. Rio
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
SWO.
Yeah, she defended her title. And then there was the Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho title match. I mean, there was some other matches. Yeah, that was good. I'm sorry, I'm jumping to that one. The Hangman Page Pac match.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
That was a damn good match. But yeah, the 2 big ones, it was Cody Rhodes and Jericho, Le Champion.
That's champion.
And
I
it was a good match.
I really
There was
like
a spot.
I really like what Callahan said, that he was going to go ahead and open up some beers because bubbly is.
Yes. Yeah. What we're talking about is Sami Callahan from Impact, who just recently won the Impact World title. He beat Brian Cage for the Impact World Championship. He posted a picture of himself holding the belt, his title, with a caption that said, "I'm gonna go and," he says, "I'm gonna celebrate and enjoy a couple cold ones because the bubbly is for bitches."
Yep.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
Impact is getting involved with the shit talking too now.
well, apparently, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
their product is starting to grow a little bit, so which
yeah, they're still relevant.
I'm grateful to see that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a spot during the Cody Rhodes Jericho match. Jericho was outside the ring, and Cody did a run dive over the ropes thing at Jericho. Well, he dove out. He kind of landed forehead first onto the steel plate ramping that they had outside.
Right.
It actually stopped the match for a couple of minutes to tend to him because he split his head like wide open.
Oh, Cody.
For those who haven't seen, look online at the
He has
pictures of Cody Rhodes with his stitches.
I
It is
saw
a
that.
nasty looking.
Dusty would be proud.
Yeah, Dusty would be proud.
Yeah.
But yeah, it split him open good. Required many stitches but it was bleeding so profusely they had to really stop the match and kind of doctor it up temporarily so he could continue the match. But apparently it was he really kind of hurt himself pretty good because they're saying that he probably won't be back in action until after the first of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, there was some kind of they gave the medical technical term for what he did, but it was
So was that
it just for the layman's terms, he foobarred himself.
so was that from actual injury or
Yeah,
blade?
an actual injury.
Oh, so it wasn't a blade.
Well,
count.
you see him, he landed
Yeah.
forehead first into that steel plating, and that split him open. But, that's what it was. He dislocated one of the upper ribs, the ones at the top of the rib cage up by the collarbone area.
Right.
Yeah, dislocated that, which they said is an extremely painful injury, and he did that in the early goings of the match. So he pretty much he
struggled through it.
That match dealing with that injury, so
That's the
hats off to Cody, man. He's a trooper.
Cody has come.
He's a
very
trooper.
long
Oh,
way.
Cody.
Very-
Cody has been a favorite of mine for a long time. Back when he was when Cody and DiBiase Jr. were Randy Orton's little cronies,
legacy.
and Legacy, and Randy Orton used to kind of bully him around, and everyone always wanted to see DiBiase and Rhodes just
Turn on.
turn on Orton, because people liked them, and they were booing because Orton was the heel.
That
Right.
ended a perfect way at WrestleMania in a triple threat with the three of them.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Right.
So
So yeah, the match ended with Jericho had Cody in the the walls of Jericho or whatever the hell it is he calls it in AEW. I'm not sure if it's the same
it's
thing.
probably Walls of Jericho. That's his move.
The walls of Jericho, Lion Tamer. I mean, it's the same thing, just different names. And MJF, Cody's best friend, threw the towel in, stopping the match.
Right.
So, Jericho retains. Cody, of course, is, beside himself, pissed about it. MJF, he's on his knees, looking visibly upset. I'm so sorry, Cody. I knew you were really hurt. I just didn't want to see you, hurt yourself, really bad. And Cody, helps him up, gives him, and then out of the blue, MJF low blows Cody, turns heel, which people have been waiting for that, been calling that to happen.
Yeah.
For a while.
And now that develops his character now.
Right, but like I said, Cody's going to be out till after first. Then, on 8, as we would see later on AEW Wednesday night, MJF come out talking to Jericho, wanting to become part of the Inner Circle.
Did he let him?
Did he let him?
No, because Jericho started in on MJF telling him that his mom and dad must have been horny while they were watching him defeat Juventud Guerrera, and then MJ all those years ago in WCW, because he had the scarf and the awesome haircut, and he kind of looked like him. And
Hoovy.
Right, and then he's like, "Who's Juventud? Who's Hoovy?" So.
I liked Juventud.
Yeah, you don't disrespect Juventud like that, man. You just no.
So that's how that went. And then of course there was the lights out unsanctioned Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley match.
Fantastic.
Which was not for the faint of heart.
Nope.
It was
I felt like it was a Mick Foley Terry.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Modern day Mick Foley Terry.
Yeah, definitely. Right, Terry Funk, Sabu, those guys were smiling big watching that match.
Now, is this still on Sunday that we're talking about, or?
No, this was Saturday, the pay-per-view. That was
Saturday.
This was the match that happened after the Jericho Rhodes title match.
Yeah, they made this match the main event.
Well, no, technically, Jericho and Rhodes were the main event. Because this was a lights-out, unsanctioned match.
But
this match technically happened after the show was over.
Right. Okay.
But it wasn't over.
No, it wasn't over. They still showed it, but
right.
It was. In fact, wins and losses. In AEW, wins and losses matter.
Right.
They do take that. There's not like
they do a record.
Yeah, there's not like a rating system like WWE has. For how you challenge for championships and shit like that. In AEW, wins and losses matter. So in these unsanctioned matches, wins and losses, they don't count. So, if you take a loss, it doesn't affect you. But equally, if you get a win, it doesn't count for you either. So that's why.
But that's why, when I saw what this match was, it brought me back to my days of watching Mick Foley.
Yeah.
And watching, Cactus Jack versus Triple H in a street fight. Stuff like that.
Yeah, well, for me, it took me back to Sabu and Terry Funk at ECW.
The original ECW.
With, baseball bats wrapped in barbed wire. And
in the American pro wrestling, you haven't seen that type of stuff in a very long time. WWE does Extreme Rule matches, which they use tables, ladders, and chairs, but no barbed wire, none of the crazy stuff anymore.
Right.
AEW is starting to do all that and showing that they don't have boundaries.
Right.
Which is necessarily safe for their wrestlers, but it's entertainment.
Right.
But
yeah, those, like I said, they had the bat wrapped in barbed wire. They had a broom wrapped in barbed wire.
Spider web.
They had this friggin' contraption that the Young Bucks drug out. It was like a big square frame where they just crisscrossed and meshed and basically made like this spider web of barbed wire, which Moxley suplexed Kenny Omega into. But, Moxley went into it as well. They were both stuck trapped in it. People had to come help them out of it.
They said when Renee Young watched the match, she was so upset
Yeah.
because it's her husband.
Omega brings out this like pillowcase filled with like broken glass pieces, and he dumps it out, onto the ring. People are getting slammed into it, and then he put he had Moxley in I think it was like a Boston crab, one-legged Boston crab type hole, I think, and Moxley had to like crawl through the glass, to reach the ring ropes.
Yeah.
There was one time where this broom wrapped in barbed wire, they laid it down on the mat, and someone got like slammed their back onto it, and then when they like leaned up, you could see all the little bloody puncture in Kenny Omega's back.
Umaga.
Right.
Umaga.
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 Umaga. So, yeah, so, but then again, and then, didn't that other thing happen on this Saturday with the FS1? Wasn't that this past weekend? The backstage?
What happened?
I don't know. I mean, we were talking about something, but Joey, you want to go ahead and tell us what happened?
Did you guys know CM Punk returned to the WWE on WWE Backstage?
What?
Only on FS1.
No. Tell me it's not so. Mind
It is so,
blown.
Bill. It is so. Trust me. He shows up.
You're just fooling.
After the show, right like the last.
What you talking about, white boy?
CM Punk shows up, and he's on the talk show with them, and he says, "I'll be here next week." So they're gonna address his return.
Right.
Which, the big question,
yeah, and everyone's going on about how he was technically he was employed by Fox, but
right.
Still, it's the fact that after all the shit that was talked,
controversy
between Punk and WWE, back and forth, for him to be associated on a show and all associated with WWE is kind of a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's a very big deal. This is, and it wasn't like Vince did like a big presentation for it, kind of leading up to it. It was just, here he is.
Yeah.
He comes out. It's like, that's even great for shock value there.
Yeah, he walks right up, addresses the camera.
Now,
just when you think you know it all, I go and rewrite the culture or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But now, because Brett and Bill, you guys know it's all about ratings.
Yep.
That's going to get that one. That is so disgusting, Bill. That is one show that's going to go. The ratings are going to be awesome. CM Punk right there will be enough for Brad. What the hell are you doing? I hate both of you right now. Listen, so Wendy's, Sonic. I have my drink because I can't find it.
This is a Carrot Top open a restaurant.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, he speaks the truth. He would be perfect for that show. And then when he's ready to wrestle again, because I think he will, the possibilities are endless.
Well, of course,
they can rival him with.
The big talk and the big rumor and everyone's speculating is that Punk is going to be the surprise number 30 entrant into the Royal Rumble.
And
that
finally,
would be amazing.
And finally get his WrestleMania main event moment that he's never gotten.
That was the controversy when he left, for those of you that don't know. The very next night on Raw, after the 2014 Royal Rumble, he got into an argument with Vince McMahon and Triple H.
Right.
And he walked because he was done. He was tired of it.
Yep.
Now, again, that's his that's his side of it.
Why does Joey's video look so crappy?
Bill, would you shut up?
It's just Joey.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine's clear. Yours is clear.
Yeah.
But the thing is, but
This is all-
what I'm trying to say is that he was tired of not, I'm white freaking hot right now, and you're not going to utilize me in the main event. You've done this the last few years, and Vince kept saying, "I owe you one, I owe you one." Hoping Vince is ready to repay him.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
He does go to the main event. He doesn't even have to win the main event. Just Punk wanted to be in the main event.
Well,
and
do you think that could be a
I'm
reason
hoping-
why they pulled Seth Rollins from being the man? Because if you look back at history, I do believe that CM Punk has a couple wins over um, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, Brock Lesnar, yeah.
So I mean, we're watching some of those videos that we post in Beyond the Squared Circle. Join the group. So some of those videos that
SC BSC.
BSC BSC. Anyways, so yeah, some of those videos that we post in there, there was a couple in there that showed Brock Lesnar losing to CM Punk with the go to sleep.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I never thought he beat him, but it could be. I might have missed it, but I mean, I'm sure it did happen.
Right.
Me myself, I haven't seen it, but I know Seth Rollins. He has the same thing going, like you're saying. What the hell are you doing, Brad? Bill, is this show and tell? Here, this is Bill's man cave. Look, there's Bill. Say hi, Bill. With his pink hat. Indeed.
Yeah, this, everyone's talking about, CM Punk come back, this and that, and they're all talking about, Raw, SmackDown, this one, that one. I'm going to be honest with you. If CM Punk were to come back and he were to win Royal Rumble, I would love for him to say, you know what, the title I want to go after is the NXT World Title.
That would be cool.
Just to well, for one, no one would be expecting it.
I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
No one would see that coming. And for two, that's just a CM Punk kind of move, in my opinion. That's the kind of thing that CM Punk would do.
Right.
He would be like, you know what, everyone expects me and wants me to come back and go to Raw. Is he going to go to Raw? Am I going to go to SmackDown? Is that, you know what? I'm going to go to NXT. I want to go there.
But imagine.
Because he's never.
He's never been the NXT champion that I know of.
What about?
But he was the leader of the Nexus.
The new Nexus.
The new Nexus. Yep.
Yeah.
Straight Edge
Nexus.
Society.
It's not just for hair care.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, man, that would be cool because imagine the possibilities. You have Finn Balor on there.
Right.
Maybe Balor, he wins the NXT title. CM Punk challenges for it.
CM Punk Finn Balor would be a good match.
Yeah, be it against the Demon.
CM Punk and Adam Cole would also be a good match too.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, fantastic.
Yeah.
But here's one I would like to see. If Punk does win the Rumble, The Fiend challenges for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania.
Bill's falling asleep over there.
Excuse my Steve-ass.
So, let me get
But,
it.
well,
So
we
let's.
shall. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, Bill.
Yeah. So we got Raw. Raw opened up with Becky Lynch and gosh, what's her name? Charlotte Flair going up against the team of let's see. Oh, the Kabuki Warriors or the Harajuku.
Yamanashi!
The Hibachi Warriors.
The Hibachi. The Teriyaki Twins.
Yeah.
We do this just for you, Asian.
So
Actually, they're called Harajuki Warriors or whatever.
Oh, is it?
yeah. So they were actually doing pretty good against Asuka and Kyrie. They looked like a good, decent tag team until Shayna Baszler came down and tried to get involved, and then Asuka wind up pinning Becky Lynch out of all people for the win, so they retain their
That's
titles.
what I'm waiting for.
What's that?
Becky Lynch. That's the feud I'm waiting for to
That would
get
be
going
great.
again.
Yeah,
They had a pretty badass feud in NXT.
they
Did they?
really did.
They did. And
Uh,
Becky never beat her in NXT. Asuka was undefeated in NXT.
The only time when she lost her record was against Charlotte, right? When she went to the main
Yeah,
roster.
when she came to the main roster, that was the only time she lost.
It was WrestleMania, I think, for the belt.
right.
Woo!
So the next match of the night was against Drew McIntyre and Sin Cara, which later on Sin Cara went to Twitter and said that he had requested his release from the company.
Yeah.
I saw that.
So
Doubt he's going to get it, though.
they have not responded to that one yet, but they did respond to somebody else's request to be released. So,
Mike Kanellis.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Mike Kanellis?
No. ACH.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I really honestly don't know what his name is. Jordan Miles?
Yeah, Jordan Miles. Basically, I mean, that was a whole drawn out soap opera in itself, which I'm glad is
Was
somewhat
that the guy
over.
who said he had the thing where, like, racist shirts or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to happen. We knew he
Well,
was going.
well, dude, I mean, his tirade on Twitter was just absolutely insane. I mean, there was incoherent babbling, and just swearing up and down. So,
Definitely. Oh.
I mean, it was almost like me after one too many drinks. Anyways, so Sin Cara was defeated by Drew McIntyre, of course. That was a pretty quick match. Then there was Samir Singh and Sunil Singh versus R-Truth for the 24, 7, 11, 92, 44 title. So, yeah, since
your name for that championship always changes. I love it.
so they since it was a falls count anywhere, they ran off up the ramp and they go and they find themselves in a dark room with Eric Rowan. And R-Truth comes in and he's like, "Oh, well, I think I'm going to be respectful here and turn off the lights." And he closed the door and turned off the lights. And then all of a sudden, Rowan's beating the crap out of the Singh brothers.
Yeah. Hey, before we move further away from it, I just want to say, I want to ask, because I personally think it would be, what y'all's opinion is. Well, for one, there just been a massive mishandling of Sin Cara in his talent by WWE.
Very much so.
Two different guys, right?
Yeah. But
Three.
Yeah.
It would be sad for them to let him go because honestly, if they let him go, he's going to go to AEW and he's going to friggin' flourish.
Well, here's the thing though, Bill. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go ahead and they're going to release the guy that was under the mask, but they're going to repackage it with somebody else.
Yeah,
so Sin
really,
Cara is still going to technically be there.
True, yeah, that's true. They'll release him and there'll be a fourth incarnation of
Sin Cara.
Sin Cara.
I mean, it's like what they did with Doink. It was the same thing.
Yeah, it was
Right.
like 14 different Doinks, you know.
I heard it was 20.
Well, and that was Zelina Vega whenever she came out and said that Sin Cara actually translates in Spanish to without a face. So, and I found that to be interesting. And then shortly later, he asks for his release. So, I mean, nobody
But
knows
yeah,
what he looks
every
like.
week he'll go to AEW wearing a different mask with a different name, and he'll be great.
Or he might not even be masked.
Right.
No, he'll wear a mask. He's very
Traditional with the
in the
luchadors.
luchador stuff. Yeah, he won't wrestle without a mask. He'll just have a new design to a mask.
And you know something, just to bring it up, because he was also in that match you talked about. Another one that I'm upset that they have not really been pushing him is Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
He came in as kind of a big deal, and then it was like, and that's where I feel he's at.
Yeah.
The mid.
Yeah.
It sucks because in NXT he was the shit when he came back, and they brought him to NXT. He was the top name there at one point.
Oh, when he came back into to the main roster, he was a big deal, man.
Look at the body transformation.
Yeah, they had him running roughshod on people.
Yeah, and then he came up with a new signature move, that kick,
the Claymore kick.
The Claymore kick, and it worked. You know, but it's like, what are they doing with that?
What are they doing with this guy?
What is up with that?
Right.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Ashley says that she would definitely take on the Harajuku Warriors. So,
right on.
Yep.
I would wrestle Asuka too myself.
Technically, I would pay to see that. And from there, I'm going to go ahead and leave that one alone.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that I'll be talking to Ashley about that later. So anyway,
well, like I said, man, I'm with her because I would wrestle Asuka also.
Right, exactly. So let's see here. Then one of the other matches was Seth Rollins versus Walter from Imperium. Since they were over there,
world champ.
Right. So since they were over there in England, of course, Imperium comes out.
England.
So Imperium comes out, and of course,
trumpets and stuff.
Ripping good stuff.
Pip pip, cheerio. So
Stop being a wanker.
So the match was going okay until Imperium decided that they were going to go ahead and get involved, which to everybody's surprise, the Street Profits and Kevin Owens, out of all people, came out to help, Seth Rollins out.
Kevin Owens question.
Let me explain that. Earlier, I was talking to Bill. I was like, "What has Kevin Owens been doing? Have they been using him and stuff?" So that answers it. He's going to be on Team Raw then, I'd imagine.
Yes.
With the Street Profits and Rollins.
We'll talk about that here after we get done with these shows, man. But that's kind of some odd pairings because you got heels and faces part of teams.
Right.
So
that's what always made the Survivor Series style match exciting.
Glad what you're talking, Joey.
Yep.
Well, what I tell you when grown folk talking?
You say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, little man.
Little ass. Finish it. Kevin Hart, watch it. It's good.
Joey watched Child's Play last night.
Joey's such a
feeling all empowered, He's like, see, little guys really can make a difference.
Hey, dude.
Just remember at the end, they ripped his head off.
Right.
This movie was way better than they portrayed him back in the 80s.
All right.
This is 3, 2, 1 screw.
3, 2,
1 horror.
Right. So going
shadows.
Going into the other matches of the night, Andrade versus Cedric Alexander, which was an okay match. Andrade wound up beating him. Of course, Zelina, getting involved. It just wouldn't be an Andrade match if she didn't get involved.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then, the freaking train wreck that everybody wants to go off the air, including Corey Graves. Corey Graves actually went to Twitter and begged Vince McMahon to pull the Lana Rusev Lashley angle. Corey Graves, out of all people, man, went to Twitter to ask for that to stop.
I mean, I know a lot of people are unhappy with it. It's getting kind of redundant,
Yeah.
annoying. I honestly, the storyline would have been better if they started fighting immediately,
Right.
not holding them to this big hole. Because the rivalry seems like Bobby Lashley isn't even a factor. It's more about Lana and Rusev.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I get it. They're trying to do that type of angle, but in the meantime, let Bobby Lashley and Rusev have some brutal freaking matches. Let them kind of build up their characters in it.
Right.
Character development. None of that's happening.
Right.
And that's
Well,
another one.
yeah, she
Bobby
came.
has not been utilized since he's gotten back there.
You know, I honestly think that they need to stop it with this storyline and put him where he needs to be, is up against
Absolutely.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, dude.
I would love to see a Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley fight.
I would
Yeah.
love to see that.
Dude, that would be amazing. You know, both come from MMA backgrounds. Both of them, you know, former UFC fighters. I mean, I think it would be freaking amazing. It would be an awesome fight.
And see, Bobby Lashley first came to the WWE back in the day. Lesnar had already left.
Right.
So the opportunity of that happening was gone. Bobby Lashley was pretty much like Brock Lesnar. He was that era's Brock Lesnar at that time.
You know what? We should go ahead and sign a petition and you know, and send it to Vince. Be like, hey, we want to see Lesnar versus you know, Lashley. We should start that.
I'd like to see Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley.
Dude, I would love to see a triple threat with Keith Lee, Brock Lesnar, and Bobby Lashley.
I'd like to see a fatal four-way with the three you just said and then Lars Sullivan.
Now, if it's going to be a fatal four-way, it'd be Keith Lee, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, and Rusev.
Yeah.
What about
No.
the possibilities are endless?
No.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm not even gonna touch on that whole like that.
It's
garbage.
It's garbage.
the Maury Pope segment of Raw.
We're a little
You're giving it too much credit, man. Maury Povich is top shelf compared to that crap.
This is more Morton Downey Jr. This is more Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah. This is Morton Downey Jr. stuff. Yeah, there we go.
You remember some Morton Downey Jr.?
I do, man. God, man, just how angry he used to get with some of his guests.
He got into it.
He would smoke an entire pack of cigarettes during the show.
He did. I was like, damn, dude, like he even been on the show without a cigarette.
Exactly. All right.
And then there was the main event of Raw, which was...
Yeah, we're kind of. Well, hold on a second. We got the.
I thought it went to the main event was after the Rusev shit.
No, there was Eric Rowan, which was a gloss over with a local. Then the Viking Raiders and Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, which was kind of a squash match for the Viking Raiders. Then we want to go ahead and get into the one that you wanted to talk about with.
That's why I didn't even I wasn't thinking about those other ones because, like you said, it was
right.
The Viking Raiders against just two guys they grabbed from a concession.
Right. Well, actually, they were the NXT UK tag team champions.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I missed that match.
Yeah.
Because I didn't recognize the names.
Yep.
And the Viking Raiders destroyed them, huh?
Yeah, they just completely and totally, nixed them. So, which I thought was kind of a funny poke at history, because if you look at the history between the Vikings and the English, that was kind of a funny poke at history.
True, yeah, that's true.
Doing the stereotypes again.
Yep.
Right on.
All right, so the big match of the night was the OC versus Ricochet, Humberto Carrillo, and Randy Orton, out of all people, which I thought was pretty freaking amazing, because it's almost like he's babyface turning again, or
That's what I'm talking about. He's part of that Survivor Series team.
Is he?
It's
Yeah.
Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre,
right?
Ricochet,
No, you got somebody mixed up. Kevin Owens
Kevin Owens.
instead of McIntyre.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I thought McIntyre was part of Team Raw
We're gonna have to look it up, folks.
because it's 5-on-5.
Let's see.
Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre,
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, and Ricochet. That's what I thought.
Hold on one second. I'm getting that answer for us right now.
Because that's what we do here at the Screw.
We get it on the spot.
We get this going.
Like
So-
Animal said.
Yep. So we've got Seth Rollins, we've got Ricochet, we've got Drew McIntyre, we've got Kevin Owens and Randy Orton that are on Team Raw.
No.
Boom, shakalaka!
And then
did.
for Team SmackDown, we've got Roman Reigns, we've got King Corbin, we've got Braun Strowman, Shorty G, and Ali.
Who is now back to Mustafa Ali, by the way. He's not just Ali.
Gotcha. So I wonder what
Was
would
it just Mustafa Ali, then they changed his name to just Ali. Now he's back to Mustafa Ali.
So what would happen if you go ahead and put Ali and Shorty G into a tag team together? Would they become Ali G? There you go, Ali G. Yep. Anyways, so whatever.
Little Sasha Baron
Yep.
referencer.
Yep. That was it, man. I was trying to go there, but yeah. But that was pretty much it for Raw. You know, with let's see, the win was for Orton, Ricochet, and Carrillo defeating the OC by pinfall. And
Carrillo pinned AJ Styles.
only after it was the RKO from out of nowhere that was originally meant for Ricochet. So Randy Orton.
Devastating letters in wrestling history.
Yep.
RKO.
You know, and you know, Randy Orton came in and he was going to do the RKO on Ricochet, and he turned back around and he got AJ Styles instead. So
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have those two ever wrestled?
AJ Styles and Randy Orton?
Yeah, did they have a rivalry or no?
Yeah, they had a rivalry.
Did they?
Yeah, whenever they were both in SmackDown, they had a long rivalry.
I don't recall AJ and Randy Orton with a rivalry.
Yeah.
I know AJ had a rivalry with John Cena. AJ had a rivalry. Whoa now!
You messed up, Brad.
Whoa now!
You done messed up, AA Ron.
Put your ears back on.
Testing.
I know there was AJ and Cena. There was AJ and Nakamura. There was AJ and Ricochet. AJ the area. But yeah, I didn't remember AJ and Randy Orton. But
Yeah.
AJ and James Ellsworth. Waste of.
Oh my gosh! Don't bring up that name no more, man. That was just disgusting.
Dude, that was a waste.
Yeah, that was real bad. He would have been better off staying a friggin' referee.
I'm gonna have a shirt made. It says James Ellsworth Fan Club President.
And we're gonna sell it at 321screw.com.
Maybe it's $3.
And then, for those that don't know, because it was an after Raw went off the air, it was a dark segment, but the OC was still in the ring. I posted this also on Beyond Squared Circle.
Only on the beer. Beyond the
BSC. But I posted the video on there. Oh yeah, the OC was left. They were still in the ring, talking shit to the crowd, to the fans, and all the lights go out, and the Fiend music kicks up, and he came out. Yeah, I mean, full on music and everything. He comes slowly walking out to the ring, and the crowd went nuts. He got in the ring though, and he went in it, and he took all the OC out. Finally at the end with the mandible claw on AJ Styles in the middle of the ring.
Where did he take them?
I believe it was at Applebee's.
I heard Denny's.
I would have been okay with Olive Garden. I mean, unlimited, breadsticks.
Yeah. They wanted to go to a Romano's Macaroni Grill, but I don't think they could find one.
Yeah, those are expensive. Or what about a Chevy's?
Yeah, just like eating in the car. Is that what you mean?
No, Chevy's Mexican Grill. You used to have them all over the place, man.
Oh, not familiar with Chevy's.
I think they're all closed down.
Easy. Come on down to Chevy. We're gonna make you a tasty burrito.
You chew on the steering wheel.
Do you like?
We put some hot sauce on the steering wheel.
And moving on.
Chevy.
Yeah. No. And the video froze.
Shooter's full.